There we go. Haha. Wait, whoops. Wrong scene. Alright, I set up this quick scene to have it where I'm not in the way of it, and Twitch chat's not either. Hell yeah. Welcome. Welcome to the Sir Bombastic concept hero reveal. Been cooking this since beta. Been real excited about this. I forgot when I actually like started it. I mean, it was obviously during beta, but I went to one of the developer streams, and I noticed that Sir Bombastic wasn't available, like, at all. So I made the joke saying that, you know, since he wasn't available, he should be a hero. That's why. That, and also his description. See if I remember off the top of my head. Be cheating to pull everything up. Whatever. It's on the next slide. I know that. But yeah, no. But yeah, my concept of it is Sir Bombastic is a bomb-throwing rat who is Sir Bombastic. Fantastic and daring rat on a long journey to join the Fellowship. That is what started the whole idea. Is seeing that text. I was like, he's trying to join the Fellowship. He's not looking to be ridden by the Fellowship.
What do you mean by that?
But yeah, for now, he's just an unobtainable mount. I've posted a lot of things, you know, theory crafting with the skulls and whatnot, trying to get that. But for now, the skull hunt is kind of dead. You know, they took away the rat skull, which is, see, is okay. It's okay. Only green used slightly for grammatical errors. You know what? It's been here for science. Hell yeah, coach. Yeah, when is the last time I've ever done a presentation like this? It was in college. I would say at least 5 or 6 years ago. But you know what? Those are boring school projects, whatnot. This is fellowship. Fellowship. This matters. But yeah, as I said, maybe instead of a mount, he should be a playable hero instead. Pitched the idea before. I think Hamish joked around once saying that, you know, have him be as a limited time use kind of thing, where like you use him once and he just goes and explodes and that's it. But here is the concept that I built up for him. So yeah, so he is a range DPS bomb throwing rat. Yeah, he uses modular bombs because I was like, okay, how to make him interesting? You know, he throws bombs. So kind of like Artios, he only has one spender and that's his modular bombs. But you can change the payload of the bomb, so like it'll do different things. Then his resource is black powder. You know, you generate black powder to use as bomb charges. 10 black powder equals 1 bomb charge. It's just numbers I've kind of thrown out there just to get the concept going. Obviously, you know, numbers can change. A lot of this doesn't actually have like actual numbers, like when it comes to damage, whatnot. Like, I'm bringing the concept out there, not the tuning. I'm not I'm not good at tuning. Your explosions. His entire kit is explosions. Everything has explosions. First off, you have the 4 utility. You have his bombastic charge, which I'll explain more of all of these later. They all have descriptions, their own individual slides. Got flashbang, which I think this is a good one. Blast Brief Ward, I mean, that's just the name of it. It's the defensive. It is what it is. Fuse cut, that's the interrupts. Subject to change, I'm not really happy with that one. Like, I put the art there because I honestly couldn't think of a good way to, like, put interrupt. Like, flashbang probably would have been the better interrupt, but I like what I did with flashbang. It makes more sense. Vermintide, which, if anyone's done Wraithtide, you've seen that ability before with the build strats.
Why is it like a random Vermintide running around? Dude, we're pulling like half the dungeon right now or something.
There are a million gunpowder rats down there.
Yeah, but... Uh-oh. I might have wiped this.
Oh god, the sound.
Why do you guys?
Where they cast Vermintide. This is that ability. The fun ability. You have Echo Payload, one of his cooldowns. Another cooldown is Barrel Frenzy, which is that one down there. Then going over here on the right side are his like damaging abilities. So you have Payload Overdrive, which is out of all the emotes I put Vermintide in there. It's a must for sure. You can't have Sir Bombastic without Vermintide. Let's be real. But yeah, Payload Overdrive is the Spirit ability, which I will go over later because you need to see other things first. Modular Bomb, that's, it is what it is. Shrapnel Charge, which is a filler ability. So he has two filler abilities, Shrapnel Charge and Sticky Charge. These are part of the things that change his Modular Bomb to do other things. And then he has 3 other abilities that just generates black powder. They're on a cooldown. Yeah, Chain Fuse. As you can see, it's kind of bouncing around. Have Pulsing Device and Powder Keg Toss. And if you notice, a lot of these images kind of have like a blue kind of ghostly theme to them. Because in my idea, Sir Bombastic went to Wraithtide to get his powers. Learned from the Bilge Rats. That's just an idea cooking. Yeah, core abilities. So obviously you have the Modular Bomb here. You have the filler, which this one is Sticky Bomb, and that one is the Sticky Payload, like how the payload changes. Then you have Shrapnel Charge, which makes Modular Bomb into a, I think I called it Shrapnel Payload. I'll have to double check on that one. We'll see. But here are the tooltips. I tried to keep the tooltips as close to what they look like in game, like kind of copying the whole thing. So yeah, the Modular Bomb. You spend 1 bomb charge, throw a Modular Bomb at a target, exploding and dealing damage to all nearby enemies. Deals 80% increased damage to the primary target. I've been playing Artios for too long. I don't like there not being prio damage. That was a must. I could have it subject to change where. So as I go here, so the main mechanic there is payload swap, changes based on the last modifier used. You have the Sticky Payload, which makes the next Modular Bomb become a sticky payload, detonating after a short delay, but dealing 160% damage from 80% to the primary target. But since it's an explosive, still does a little bit ADW, The Shrapnel Payload, next Modular Bomb gains fragmentation spikes, dealing more splash damage and applying bleed to all enemies hit for 6 seconds. We got Sticky Charge, single target filler, which, kind of the same thing there. Throw a Sticky Charge that latches on the target, dealing light damage. Grants Payload Swap, Sticky Payload. Payload Swap, Sticky Payload. The next Modular Bomb becomes a Sticky Payload, as I said before. And then, when you throw it, it's 2 black powder on hit. Just a little bit. Then you got Shrapnel Charge, which is the AoE version. Throw a little Fragmentation Charge that explodes on impact, damaging all enemies near the target. Grants you Shrapnel Payload, which makes, next Modular Bomb deal fragmentation, they get fragmentation spikes and splash damage, applying bleed, as I said before. Gain 1 black powder per target hit, up to 5, so that way you're not, hitting 20 targets, getting 20 black powder right away. Cap it out. A little bouncing. Utility abilities, so we have the 4 I mentioned before, Bombastic Charge, Blast Proof Ward, Flashbang, and Fuse Cut. So, Bombastic Charge, just like any other ranged DPS, has a 2 charges, 30-second recharge, blast forward a short distance, using Powder Blast after landing, gain 30% movement speed for 2 seconds. Because, you blast it forward a little bit. So you get a little bit of momentum. And you got Flashbang, which this is, I feel like, Zoom Boom, exactly. But the idea behind Flashbang, before I reveal the tooltip here, is since the next tank hero that's going to be revealed is, they're saying they're going to have like limited mob control compared to Mako and Helena. Ilarion has, Mako's control in a sense. So what if Sir Bombastic had Helena's control? So 2-minute cooldown, toss a blinding bomb that disorients enemies in an 800 radius and reduces their attack range for 4 seconds. weaker ground melee for mob control, as I put down. So essentially, you throw a flashbang at them, you know, it stops their cast, like, temporarily, and it makes it where they have to get into melee range before they can start casting again. So, like, it's not as powerful, but it's still really nice. A little bit of, you know, mob control there. So then you know, you got the basic here, blast forward. Just summon blast forward beneath your feet, etched with glowing fuse lines and reinforced scrap glyphs. You know, just kind of give that feel, but like any defensive, reduces damage taken by 40% for 4 seconds, as they do. Then you got fuse cut interrupt, as you know, same thing with all interrupts. It's a range 1, 20-second cooldown. You know, keep that balancing. Interrupt the target, permanent for casting for 4 seconds, and it has to be casting a spell or it has no effect. Simple. Generator abilities. So we have Chain Fuse, Pulsing Device, and Powder Cake Toss. So Chain Fuse, just a fun little thing. Throw a device that bounces between up to 3 enemies, exploding each time for moderate damage. Damage reduced for each bounce, so, you know, bang, bang, bang. You have been cooking... Dude, I have a huge folder with this whole thing. I have this PowerPoint. I have a whole Word document with everything here. I also have a Excel document that has all the talents, which will be shown here in a bit. Like, I went full out with, I'm trying to cook a full-fledged hero concept here, not just pitch the idea. But yeah, as I was saying, you know, Chain Fuse, 12-second cooldown, bounce between 3 enemies, exploding each time for moderate damage, damage reduced for each bounce. I'm not sure if I want to have it where it's, like, can bounce on the same target, like the fire frogs do, or if it has to at least have one target to bounce between, so it can go bing, 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 you know. But yeah, gain 2 black powder per bounce, max up to 6. We got Pulsing Device. This is kind of similar to Rhyme's, forgetting the name of her ability, but her, like, pulsing ability, but not. Like, this is a ground target ability. So, 15-second cooldown, throw a Pulsing Device to the target location, emits 3 pulses over 6 seconds, each dealing AoE damage in a small radius. Gain 2 black powder per pulse that hits an enemy. Powder Keg Toss. This one's on a little bit longer cooldown. 20-second cooldown. Throw a small powder keg that explodes in a large radius, dealing heavy damage, and gain 10 black powder on detonation. So, like, this is like your main getting bomb charges kind of thing. Like, that's one full bomb charge. And also does good damage, you know. Probably increase that cooldown. There's a lot of tuning that would have to be done here. We have DPS cooldown. So yeah, you have... this one is Echo Payload, Barrel Frenzy, and Vermintide. The Echo Payload, this one's pretty simple. So, minute cooldown for the next 12 seconds. Your modular bombs drop a smaller secondary bomb that targets feet, detonating for half the damage. So, you know, just throw out more stuff. Yeah. Barrel Frenzy. This one was hard to think of what to do. But essentially, when you hit the cooldown, since the powder, like the barrel on his back, I decided isn't an explosion thing, but rather like it's a black powder barrel that holds all the black powder that he has, and then with this you're overloading it. So 2-minute cooldown, overload your powder reserves, increasing damage by 20% for 10 seconds. During this time, your black powder generator abilities gain 50% increased black powder. It's pretty simple. I didn't want to go too in depth with it because Spirit ability goes a bit in there, and I'm starting to wonder if I actually put the Spirit ability in the slideshow. I'm not sure if I did. I'll have to go over that one manually, I guess. But yeah, Vermintide. I love this one. So I took inspiration from this one. So obviously we have Vermintide endgame. I looked at the tooltip of what they do, and so it's a channeled ability. Yeah, rats. Yeah, so 30-second cooldown. You channel for 2 seconds, summoning a rat every 0.4 seconds. Notice it's highlighted because it scales with haste. So just like Alarian's channel ability or Ryan's channel ability, the more haste they have, the more you summon. More rats. More fun. But each rat seeks a separate target or stacks on one. So if there's, you know, I think this is, if there are 5 targets, it'll go after each of the 5 targets. If there's only one target, they'll all go after that one target. So kind of like frogs, but yeah. So they'll seek a target, explode, and then leave a dot on them, and then you get a black powder per rat exploding. Okay, so wow, I did miss the spirit ability. Okay, I do have something for the spirit ability. But yeah, here is the full talent tree. As I was editing this, I realized I made a mistake. Row 3, slot 2, and row 5, slot 1 are the same. I meant to change one of them, and then I forgot to do it. I was up until like 6 in the morning doing the talent trees. So, forgive me on that part. Everything else is there. But zoom things in a little bit, go over row by row. Or actually, okay, so before I continue going forward, so essentially I tried making it so the left side is more about the generator abilities and trying to buff them. The middle section is all about trying to buff Vermintide, you know, making it more of a rat summoner than anything. And then the right side is all about buffing your modular bombs and going more on your bomb route. So first row, got Chain Overload. Chain Fuse bounces one additional target and can now bounce on the same target if needed, which I could... Since I couldn't make up the mind, that's why I decided to put that there. I'm like, okay, well, there's the option. Bourbon Surge, rats deal 10% damage, or 10% extra damage, and Powder Burn lasts another 2 seconds. Then Payload Synergy, so this one's kind of like Rhyme and Valerian's thing. So each time you cast Modular Bomb, you gain 1 payload stack. At 3 stacks, your next Modular Bomb consumes all stacks, dealing 20% increased damage and benefiting from both sticky and fragmentation payload. Which, had I shown it earlier, that's what the Spirit ability does. Alright, second row, we have Volatile Adhesion, so when Sticky Charge deals damage, which is the single target filler, it triggers a small AoE blast and generates 1 additional black powder, so like that way you're still getting a little bit of AoE damage on that. Vermin Discipline, your Vermintide channel duration is increased by 0.8 seconds, so by default with no haste, that would be 2 extra rats. An Echo Boost, Echo's payload secondary bombs deal 10% more damage, just a little buff, little nice. See, third row, we have, so this is the 2 talent row. You have Pulse Extension. Pulsing device emits 1 extra pulse, total of 4 instead of 3. Hemorrhaging Shrapnel, where Fragmentation's bleed can stack up to 3 times instead of just only applying the bleed once. So the more you keep spamming it, like, yeah. Then Incendiary Payload. So modular bombs with sticky payload now also apply a stacking burn to the target, dealing a percentage of the damage dealt to the primary target over 6 seconds. So that way, it's even more priority burn. Get it, burn. Ah. Row 4, we have another, 1 talent row. This is... So, Magic Ward is on the right-hand side. That's a default from what I saw on everyone's talent trees. That's always there. The left hand is the buff to Detonation, or, not Detonation, Blast Speed Forward. So what I decided for this one, as I took a look at, everyone's... And I went full out with this. But yeah, Detonation Word. Your Blast before its duration is increased to 8 seconds and reduces area of effect damage you take by another 10% while active. So, like, Mara's is magic damage. And then, like, I looked at a couple other things, but yeah. Oh, shit. He redeemed the foot cam. He tried getting the peek at my feet.
Mediocre Chores has just tried to peek at your feet. How disgusting of him. Chat should shame this user.
Get baited. I had to do it. I've been talking about that one for a while. I had to get that. But yeah, Detonation Word, it's just a little extra buff. Rattling Instinct, so I feel like this might be a little too powerful for a 1 talent. Might need to move that. Shame, 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 shame. If only I had the freaking... I should change that instead of the monkey flipping you off. I should get the gif of, from Game of Thrones, shame. But yeah, Rattling Instinct. Each time you summon a rat with Vermintide, gain plus 2% haste for 6 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. So when you'd use Vermintide, you know, it's on a 30-second cooldown, you'd get 10% haste for 6 seconds. It's pretty good. But yeah, Magic Ward, simple. Everyone knows what Magic Ward is. I'm not going to go over that one. Alright, row 5. I once again apologize for the left-hand part of this being the same as before. We, hemorrhaging shrapnel, bleed stacking 3 times. But here's the other thing, though. Rat King's Frenzy. Each 5 black powder generated reduces the cooldown of Vermintide by 2 seconds. Rat Spam! And then Critical Payload. I had to put a Grievous Talon in there. So yeah, each time you cast Modular Bomb, you have a 15% chance to gain Critical Payload for 12 seconds. Causing your next Modular Bomb to cost 0 bomb charges and have a 100% Critical Strike chance. And then the Grievous stuff afterwards, where any additional Critical Strike you have goes into the damage. Yeah. Row 6 here, we got the last row of 1 talent. So I put Keg Mastery. Powder Keg Toss deals 10% more damage and grants an additional 2 extra black powder. Just a nice little buff. Spirited Fortitude, everyone's seeing that. That's the same on everyone's tree. Take 10% reduced area effect. So if you wanted to with Sir Bombastic, you can go 20% reduced area effect damage. Pretty nice. And Modular Precision, Modular Bombs have a 20% increased critical strike chance. Yeah. But that is all the talents. But I also cooked up legendaries. I went full out, baby. But yeah, obviously there's cape, boots, and a necklace, as everyone has. First up is the Cape of Control Detonation. But yeah, so each time you spend a bomb charge, reduce the cooldown of Echo Payload, which is the cooldown, by 1 second. Additionally, while Echo Payload is active, modular bombs apply a short-lived Echo Burn to the primary target, dealing 15% of the bomb's damage over 3 seconds. But this one is for all, for all of the bombs and not just to the primary target. So, you can really go nuts with that. That might be too OP. But I want it to be legendary. Boots of the Burrow Brigade, you got it. We got more fun with rats. So each time you cast Vermintide, you summon an additional elite rat that burrows underground and explodes after 2 seconds for heavy AoE damage. And now this one could literally just be the mount version of Sir Bombastic that goes under. The elite rat applies a stronger powder burn. I just like the idea, though. Just more rats. Everyone wants more rats. The Necklace of Fusebreaker's Focus. I went through a bunch of options here. I'm like, okay, what do I do for the necklace? Still not sure about this one, but this sounded okay. But yeah, each time you spend a bomb charge, reduce the cooldown of Powder Keg Toss by 0.5 seconds, and then there was that talent earlier that makes it do more damage, generate more. So this, I try to keep it where, there's a legendary for each column of the talent tree. So you have the modular bomb one, you have the generators, and you have Vermintide. Fun stuff there. But yeah, that is the idea of Sir Bombastic and the whole thing that's cooked up the idea of, that one line, a fantastic and daring rat on a long journey to join the Fellowship. That is what made me cook up this whole thing. Pretty happy with how this all turned out. But I do also have to say, so as I was saying before, so to make sure that doesn't go away, I did come up with the Spirit Ability 2. As I said, got the whole document here. For some reason, I forgot to add it in the slideshow. But yeah, Payload Overdrive is the name of it, which I put the icon in there. But yeah, so unleash your ultimate payloads, increasing damage by 20% for 20 seconds. During this time, modular bombs benefit from both modifiers, or both payloads simultaneously. So spike payloads apply bleed to all enemies hit. Sticky payloads detonate after a short delay, dealing 100%, 60% damage to the prime target. And of course, you get Spirit of Heroism. Increase haste. It will just be just a fun time, fun boom. Bombs go burr. Originally, I also had an idea of making it a melee hero, but it ended up where he didn't have the bomb on his back, or not the bomb, the barrel on his back, and it was starting to look a little bit too much like a survival hunter, just with a different flair, and I was like, nah, back to the board. So I scrapped the whole project at one point and started over again. But that is our lovely Sir Bombastic friend, and everything that I have cooked up for him.